Hello everyone. Today I would like to flip through some of my favorite art books and the books that do give me inspiration as an artist. I would like to share that with you all. But first, before I get into doing that, I would also like to give you a tour of just all of the books that I do have on my bookshelves and in my book nooks and different areas of my apartment that house my books. So I'll get started with that, and then I'll sit back down to flip through some of my favorite books with you. Okay, making my way to the first area. This is my front door welcome entrance, and this little book nook area stores a few of my classic books along with my huge Shakespeare. Okay, in here on my desk I have first I have Delacroix here, and then the Sistine Chapel. Some of these I will be flipping through. And then here on my desk, I like to keep inspiration on my desk, and this is Leonardo, the complete paintings, and this one is another one featuring Leonardo da Vinci's work. And immediately next to my desk I have a few more classics, and these are Barnes and Noble classics, and that I have Les Miserables here. I have The Phantom of the Opera and Other Gothic Tales, and then I have Louis L'Amour, and this one is a collection of westerns. So here on my main bookshelf, I have up here, I'm not gonna go through each book that I have, but I love the story of Les Miserables, so I am showing this one again. And I have this whole shelf, I want to say, is classics. This one is another shelf of classics. Well, as you can see, I do have a lot of classics. I have a few that are not classics, but this is just an overview of what is on these shelves. I'll go slow in case you want to take note of anything. December 4th, 1941. Love this. And Soldier. Those type of books, I want to get back into that again, but I feel like they're November reads, being that they discuss war times, and I love stories on the war. And here, or I have Phantom of the Opera here. Love Phantom of the Opera. And this is what is on my bottom shelves. Okay, so coming into the next shelf, this is the shelf that I'm going to mainly be flipping from. This is a lot of books on art, and I have some art deck cards here. These are really nice. If I have time, I'll flip through those, but this one is on the Vatican. I'll get that. That was postcard. And this one is on the Louvre. These are some really nice art deck cards. I have a special area for Stranger Things here, and this is, and it'll probably take more than one video to flip through some of this stuff, but if there's anything that you may want to see in a separate video, just let me know and I will flip through it for you. Okay, so here on the end table, I have a few more leather bound classics here, another Shakespeare, and we're going to move right along to the next room. So before heading off to the next room, I realized I forgot to show the little book caddy that I have sitting here, and these are historical anthologies, history magazines, and different things like that sits in here. This is like a map guide. So, and that is inside of the caddy that sits next to Einstein. So now let's head to the next room. So in making my way to my room, I have here, this one is just a novelty box that looks like a stack of books, but I have the selected writings of Ralph Waldo Emerson here. I have Mark Twain, and both of these are actually Mark Twain books and a classic by Dickens. And making my way to the other end of the room, I have here The Sun Also Rises. The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway, and A Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway. And this is Best Known Works of Nathaniel Hawthorne. This one I really like. This is like an inspirational book. This one is called I Dare You. Very, very old book. This is another this is a critique of pure reason, and I purchased this one because it's abridged. And I do have two other formats of critique of pure reason, but I think I would prefer to start with the abridged version of it, because books on philosophy can be a bit of a challenge. So being that I have so many books and not enough bookshelf space to store them, I have to come up with clever options. So here at the foot of my bed is a double stack of my anthologies, and this will definitely be another video, because I would love to show the anthologies that I have in my book library. So this is my novelty bookshelf, because this bookshelf stores both books and a lot of my novelty items. So I will give a quick overview of what is on this shelf. Here. My La Femme's Quarterlies, I always have loved those. Those are the other two formats of critique of pure reason that I spoke on. And as you can see, I have a lot of copies of Les Miserables in my library. So making my way to this side of the bed, I just have one book on display here, The Art of Happiness, perfect book to have on display. And then I have over here, to get the lighting right. Okay. So this is my my Game of Thrones set. I have a few of the Peter and the Starcatcher series here. These are Tolstoy's letters. I love that set. And just a few of, this one is Selected Letters of Friedrich Nietzsche. And then I have a stack of classics. My humidifier. Stack of classics here. These I like to keep on the bed because I like flipping through these. These are really, really nice. I will kind of, which one? I think it's this one that I kind of go through a lot. But it has letters inside of vellum pockets that goes along with the themes of the stories. And moving along, oh, here at the foot of the bed, I love the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, 1984 by George Orwell, and my Bible here. So making my way to this side of the room, this is my coffee station area. I really have to get this area together, but this little nook area houses some of my books by V.C. Andrews and a few other selections here. And we are almost done with this part, and I have in this corner, as I said, I have to come up with a lot of clever storage areas. So here on the floor right next to my bed, I have a stack of a few of my books here, and then moving over here, under here, or a stack of, I have Leonardo da Vinci, which I may be pulling out for the video, although it's not an art book, but it is on an artist. And I have a few other ones that live under here. Here's Lust for Life, which is a book on an artist, one of my favorite artists, Vincent van Gogh. This one is just laying here because I was just going through that one, that book on Elon Musk. But I have here a few more in this little nook area here, and the slide is out of the way. And so that is what is here. And sitting here on my trunk is this one little lonely copy of Les Miserables. So since I have did the tour of my book library, now we will get to the flip through of the art books. Okay guys, I am back and ready for the exciting part of the video, the flip through of the art books. So for the sake of time, I have selected 5 books from my library because I don't want the video to go too long. Another reason why I will be showing only these 5 books is because some of the books that I do want to show may be quite big for me to try to show them to you in detail by filming from my desk. So I'll have to set up in a different area in order to flip through those for you. And the third reason is I do have some books that are in my library that deserve to be highlighted on their own. So with that being said, I will get started with the flip through. Okay, so first up is Drawing Dynamic Hands by Brune Hogarth, and he is the author of Dynamic Figure Drawing, Drawing the Human Head, and Dynamic Anatomy. And I purchased this book from Half Price Books, as I do most of my used books. I may order some off of eBay every now and then, but for the most part, I go to Half Price Books to purchase them. And getting into it, I won't do a complete flip through, but just enough to give you a little insight on what's going on with the books. So we have here structures, forms and structures, and it is giving very detailed instructions on the upper and lower arm. And what I love about learning from these art books is the movement, the realistic movement. You can see so much movement in a lot of these sketches. And I love learning from older books. There's a few newer authors that I want to get books from, but I love relying on older art books, the teachings of older artists. And I am skipping through some of the pages so that this won't take too long. The skeletal structure. This is the anatomy portion of the book. The muscular system. And a very important part of learning realistic art is learning anatomy. I just love the movement, such realistic movement. And then the shadows. See all the muscle structures. You have movement here, and you have to really look at it to decipher which way you would sketch this one, like all of the fingers going down, and this part, even though it's going down, it's actually a part of the fingers that are sprayed out. Okay, so now we can move on to the next book. So this one is almost too big to make the cut, but up next I have here Creative Illustrations. I need to start pulling some of these off sometime. So I have here Creative Illustrations, and this one is by Andrew Loomis. And this is I'm gonna do a quick flip through of this one because this one has a lot going on. It has a lot of information and details in here. And hopefully I'm getting this in frame. Look at the gnome, whole page of gnomes. The realism, I just love this. And this one is strokes with pens, so this is ink pen sketching. And this is showing you from the photo to the artwork. And this is watercolor here. I love watercolor. One of my favorite painting mediums, because it travels so well. And here we have the color wheel and color palettes here. I would say this book is almost like a complete education on what you would need as far as going into self-taught art. Here are some magazine ads. And this kind of reminds me of different works by Norman Rockwell, which I will definitely be getting into in a separate video. Okay guys, I am back after a slight dilemma. My phone went down to 3% battery and I did not notice it, and it was about to completely shut off. So it took at least a good 30 minutes for me to get my phone charged to where I could use it again. So I'm sure this is where we left off with the flip through. And continuing on, I'm gonna go ahead on and finish getting through this book. And let's see. And then we have experience and studies, and we are to the end of this. This is absolutely stunning. Outdoors sketch and a portrait sketch, and we are done here. And again, this one was the creative illustration by Andrew Loomis. So up next I have another one by Andrew Loomis, and this one is drawing the head and hands. And I believe I purchased this one off of eBay. It's not always easy to get your hands on books by Andrew Loomis, so you have to go digging for them. Make sure I'm in good frame. Okay, I'll go back a little because I was not in good frame. And it gives you step-by-step instructions on drawing from different dimensions. I remember when I was younger, my first introduction into art, one of the first that I can remember, was drawing from a graph. I think they used to have different, like in magazines, it had to be magazines or something that my mom got, but I was always interested in the art sections of everything. So that would be step-by-step instructions on sketching with graphs. You would have the picture under the graph with the graph on top of it, and then there's an empty graph, and you take each section of the graph, the square graph, and you sketch what is inside of each section of the graph. I may look for an old lesson like that and actually do that one day, because that was one of my first memories of my introduction into art. I also remember where my mom would get these little watercolor books, but it was the picture at the top, and then it was like a color key at the bottom where the watercolor was already on the paper, and you just take and wet a brush and paint the picture that's on that same page. So I must say my mom did do a lot to nurture my interest in art, and I am very grateful for that. This is showing movement. Like I say, I love movement, realistic movement. And then you can take and actually sketch these out, the examples out, and add such details. You don't have to stop at just the example sketch that they have here. You can kind of push it further and add details once you get the structure down. Baby hands. I also remember when I found some kind of way, I found a website called Draw Space, and I have that was some nice lessons I learned as well. I would have to find those pictures where I learned how to sketch the lips of a baby, regular human lips, and it was just different lessons that I learned off of that site, Draw Space. I would have to go and look, because you would post your work on there. I would have to go look and see if I even still have that account, or if it even exists still. But we are done with this one, and this was Drawing the Head and Hands by Andrew Loomis. Okay, up next I have one from the How to Draw and Paint series, and this is also an Andrew Loomis book. Now these, I remember when my mom bought this one for me. It wasn't this one. She bought I think it was How to Draw and Paint Flowers or Floral. It was something like that, and I learned a lot from that book. I remember doing a painting from that book, and the painting I did, she actually put it on her wall at work. A lot of that stuff does not exist anymore because of Hurricane Katrina. A lot was lost, but that's a different story. This one is How to Draw and Paint, and this one is Figures in Action by Andrew Loomis. And I kind of, sometimes for modesty's sake, I will cover things up and kind of be a little careful how I flip through, because some of these books are quite detailed, and you do have to learn a lot of realistic detail when doing art. So some of it I will skip through because it's not really necessary to show all of this on the video, but to kind of give you an idea of what's going on in here. And this is showing motion again, and that is Figures in Action by Andrew Loomis. Okay, so this one is birds, and it is also from the How to Draw and Paint series. This one is Learn to Draw a Variety of Amazing Birds Step by Step. And here at the bottom it is capturing details, rendering textures, working with photos, creating dynamic compositions. And this one is by Murray Asing, and I love this one. And this is a more up-to-date copy. The one I just showed you, that's books, like copies I remember from when I was younger, the structure of that book. This is, you can see it's a more updated version. Not sure the year, I haven't looked into it that much, but it is a more updated version. Look at this, just awesome, amazing. It gives you the photo, the beginning photo, and then the step-by-step sketches. Continues on. until it's complete. Hummingbirds, I love hummingbirds. I actually have a hummingbird feeder on my balcony. This is gorgeous. So I will have a lot of fun times with this, and look at the details. Okay. So that was the flip through of some of the art books on my shelf. So this will be part one. I will be uploading another flip through video of art books. I'm not sure how many parts I'm gonna do this in because I have quite a few on the shelf over there. But this was very fun, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. And until next time, thank you so much for watching.